Welcome back. In this video we're continuing on with the dyno project supply. So far we have designed, contained and wired a 630 amp 3-phase supply and are now focusing on the outgoing AC and DC connections. In the last video we terminated the 185 servo cables but didn't quite get them lugged. I'm glad to say they are all connected and looking unreal. It's now time to connect up the other ends into a 750 kilowatt, 750 kilowatt dyno. The size and amount of terminations make this pretty insane. One of the most congested term boxes I've ever done. Let's run the intro and get into it.
Yo, we're back at my favourite job after a few weeks away, and we're connecting up a 750 kilowatt dyno. It's an insane bit of kit. It's overload rated at about 600 kilowatts, but they're going to be running it to about 750, 22,000 RPM, so it's an insane bit of kit, and we're going to be connecting that up today. So you might have remembered when I glanded all these in yesterday, I actually terminated them all, so they're all looking lovely. I just wanted to crack on and get that done, to be honest. I would have loved to have filmed it, but yeah, I needed to make sure I got a certain amount done yesterday. You can see all the mess. Sort of transition to heat shrink, so you've got the braid in there which is grabbed by the springs and the glands, then we've got heat shrink, and then we're just down to our cores. Got all our earths on there, had to double some of them up because there wasn't enough points. Then we've got our phases there looking lovely and neat. That's how we like it. And this in here is our dyno. So that's an insane bit of kit. If we look at the rating plate, this is 600 kilowatts overload, I think 602 kilowatts, which is about 2,800 amps. However, we've designed and accounted for 3,500 amps, which is about 750 kilowatts. This sensor is insane. It will measure the torque and do all sorts of smart stuff. If you know what this sort of stuff is, you'll know that this is, state-of-the-art stuff, serious kit. We're just connecting these, so I've got 5 of them in. I've had to sort of, do these earths as we go, because you can see they get sort of obscured by the glands. Thought I'd save the last one for us to do together, so we'll get that in there. And then we'll try and terminate as many of these as we can. It's currently 25 past 3, so I plan to be here till about 6 o'clock, and then I'm back Monday, so we'll see how far we get in the next 2.5 hours. Just cutting the gland to its bigger size to allow for these big 185s. And I just want to thread the other part of the gland into the gland plate. It's actually been machined and threaded, this gland plate, so they just get tightened into the plate, no lock ring, which is sweet. Now that's in, we can start eyeing up where we want to strip this. So we want that on the back. Cool, go about there. So I'm just scoring the outer sheath for this. The sheath on this cable's mad, like mad tough. Now I've scored that, the technique I've adopted, I think I showed it in the last video, is just grabbing the insulation with these cobras and just sort of peeling it apart. It's very crude, but it works, and this insulation is tough. There we go. Basically measure about 70 mil, and I'll just start cutting these. Normally sort of choose the foil in the right place as well, and we can start getting this inner layer of plastic trimmed. This one is horrendous. This is the worst one, and none of the other 5 did this. And we want to get all this white cable packer out the way. we've got a bit of tape there, look. So with this, we just want to grab hold of these as close to the edge as we can, really, because the majority of them are going to get caught in that spring on the gland. Just tape them up so that they go through the gland nicely, and then I probably would try and get some on the end, but we're going to go bareback because we've just run out. Let's get that on, that would help, wouldn't it? That would have been very painful. So you can see that's now about to enter, so by leaving this little bit sort of free, that's what the spring's going to grab onto. This is the important bit to block out the electromagnetic interference. You can see there, we've got our sheath in, so now we can just push this up with a bit of persuasion, get it to bite, there we go. And now I'm going to nip that up until we can see the sort of the blue pinching the cable. I found by taking a bit of the weight off the cable, there's so little tolerance of these glands that even to tighten up, you kind of just want to take the weight and have them sat in the centre. Looks like that's stopped there. They are going to build something to support these, but basically there's nothing we could have done with ladder, and yeah, these bends are as good as it's going to get, really. Not sure if I showed that, but that's where the cables come down, and then yeah, they're just swooping in. Fortunately, we've lost a little bit of walkway space, half a foot, when you consider the sort of the bending radius and stuff. It's hard to do much more than that. In here, we're going to chop this tape off. We're going to apply a bit of heat shrink, just like that, and then we're going to make off these 3 earths that come with this cable onto our last. I think they're under here. You can see the problem I've had. Yeah, the last 3 are under there. So what I've been doing is sort of tying what I need out the way, like that, doing the connections, and then yeah, we've got L1, L2, L3. Yeah, we've got U, V, W, which in motor language is L1, L2, L3. Yeah, we'll have to make off all of the L1s, all the L2s, and then all of the L3s, probably because they'll start to get covered basically by the other phases. But yeah, first we'll do this. You can see I've sort of left little loops on them, and that is purely because you can't go direct, just because the cable will be that short that you can't even make it off, can't even lug it. We're going to have a similar issue in here, but I'll deal with it on the bigger ones. But on those little ones, I just gave myself as much length to play with as I could. Right, a bit of heat shrink over the top. So this is actually glue heat shrink as well. So it just bonds it all together nicely. Just tidies up that edge. So now we need to get down there. It's going to be fun. First of all, let's cut all of you down to a workable length. Pop our lugs on. It's the first one. That's going to be incredibly hard to crimp, but we'll give it a go. Hi mate, you right? That's alright. Bit of bad news. I don't know what's happened. It's the first time I've used it today, but the crimper is not crimping. Bit of an issue. The crimper is not crimping, so I think the hydraulics have gone, which is a shame because yeah, I was I was getting ready to go and crimp these. So it's 4:45. I'm going to get the rest of these marked out, stripped and ready to be crimped. I'm going to have to get my crimper. This isn't my crimper, this is theirs. I've lent mine out, so I'm going to have to get my one back or get take of one for Monday morning and get all the crimping done then. So a little bit of a spanner in the works, but yeah, you take the rough with the smooth, I guess. Right, it's Monday morning and we have an interesting development. The crimper is actually okay. So this hydraulic bit in there, see it moving up? That wasn't working. It wasn't doing any of that, but I just held down the hydraulic release. I just thought I'd give it a go this morning, held that down for like a good 20 seconds and now it's moving again. So I didn't need to drive all the way to Harlow and spend 1,100 quid on another crimper. I mean, it was good to have a backup anyway, because you just never know. Even with how good these tools are, I've had various brands of crimper fail on me at various different times, but yeah, we're back running on gas with this one, so now it's time to get crimping those 185 servos. So we got to the point where we had 3 of these sort of ready to be lugged up, so we'll get them crimped, heat shrunk, screwed down. We need to try and figure out the torque ratings for this buzz bar arrangement as well, and then yeah, we're on to these 3 and then black and then grey. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Right, so I've got these 3 crimped. I'm going to leave them loose, to be honest with you, because you need to move them out of the way. I just had to reheat shrink this one because the crimper sort of took all the heat shrink. So by leaving them loose, I can sort of move them out of the way, get the crimper head in there because it is tight. We're now going to do these 3, so I'll try and take you through the stripping process. I'm kind of making it up. It's a bit of exhaust cutter and then Stanley knife. Out the way, get hold of these torque ratings and get all these clamped down. To minimise contact resistance, a cable with the external power cables need to be mounted directly to the copper bars. The tightening torque is 40 Newton meters. So let's get this set. There we go, lovely. Right, that is those first 6 all terminated. So now I'm going to move on to the blacks and then the greys. I'll probably chuck you on a time lapse or something because we've seen it all now, and I'll catch up with you guys when we've got the last few to do. This tier took about half an hour. That tier took a lot longer, and obviously the glanding process took an insane amount of time because of those earths. But yeah, it's just surprising what an inch of space and distance gets you, because these flew in. They were so much easier to do, to terminate, to crimp, to everything. And it's just because they're just 2 inches that way and about an inch taller. So these should be an absolute breeze. Had a little tidy up, everything's looking sweet. 6 185s coming in there, so they are going to build a little frame to support these, take the weight off of themselves. And then we have all of the 185 terminations, L1, L2 and L3, 35mm earths as well. All looking sweet, all torqued up, and that is this 750 kilowatt dyno, 3,500 amps, connected up and ready to go. Obviously we've got all these connections up here, all done as well, so I'm going to get these covers back on. I've been having a bit of a tidy up and stuff. I've got to finish off my test certificate, label up the incomer and the panel and that. that's the end of this video, and that is the end of this job, unfortunately. Obviously you guys have seen it start to finish. That's been nice to show pretty much everything, you know, the journey of the job and all the nitty-gritty, the good and the bad. It's been a great job, to be honest with you. I've learned a lot, honed my craft, and yeah, this is exactly the type of work I want to be doing. This job was actually from a viewer, from a subscriber. Hopefully he still he still subscribes after this series of videos. But yeah, that's taught me the power of social media. You know, my business is definitely my priority compared to social media, but it's still very powerful. And hopefully if you're watching this and you need some work like this doing, then give us a shout, because we'd love to get involved. A lot of you aren't subscribed. I've been looking at the analytics and stuff like that, and YouTube keeps telling me that a lot of people aren't subscribed. So if you are enjoying these videos and you want to see more, then yeah, please subscribe. It don't take a lot, and yeah, you're watching the videos, so you may as well stay updated with when they're coming out. Speaking of videos coming up, I've got a few exciting projects, yeah, probably starting in the new year by the time this video comes out. So I'm going to try and do the same sort of thing, film the whole project in like little series. I don't know, I'm just sort of winging it, making up as we go, but I'm enjoying it, and hopefully you guys are too. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.